Life is a stage where everyone is playing their part, each carrying their own burdens, their own battles, their own silent struggles. But there's one truth that remains unchanged: people don't really care about your problems. They might listen for a moment, nod in sympathy, or offer a few words of comfort, but deep down, everyone is too busy with their own lives to truly carry your burdens. Complaining, venting, or constantly sharing struggles doesn't fix anything. In fact, it does the opposite. It weakens you. It makes you dependent on others for emotional validation instead of relying on the one person who can truly change your situation. Every time you tell someone your problems, you give away a piece of your strength, expecting a solution, expecting empathy. But the truth is, the world respects those who rise despite their struggles, not those who seek sympathy for them. Imagine two people walking through a storm. One stops every few steps, telling everyone how difficult it is, how the wind is strong, how the rain is cold. The other keeps walking, silently, pushing through, drenched but determined. When they both reach their destination, who do you think the world will admire? Not the one who stopped to complain, but the one who moved forward regardless of the hardships. That is how life works. Power lies in silence. Strength is built in solitude. The greatest minds, the most successful people, the ones who shape the world, none of them waste time seeking sympathy. They channel their pain into action. They let their success speak for them. They embrace their struggles as fuel, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Instead of telling people your problems, show them your resilience. Show them what persistence looks like. Show them that nothing can break you. When you stop looking for external validation and start relying on yourself, you become unstoppable. You become the person others look up to. And one day, when you have conquered every challenge, when you have turned every difficulty into a victory, the world won't remember your problems. It will remember your triumph. Life moves fast, and everyone is caught up in their own ballast. No matter how much you believe your struggles matter to the world, the reality is that people are too busy with their own problems to truly care about yours. They might listen out of politeness, nod in sympathy, or even offer a few comforting words, but once the conversation is over, they move on. They go back to their own lives, their own worries, their own ambitions. And that's not because people are cruel or heartless, it's simply human nature. Everyone has a weight to carry, a storm to survive, a story filled with unseen ballasts. And in a world where everyone is trying to stay afloat, no one wants to hear about how deep your ocean is. If you constantly share your struggles, hoping for understanding or relief, you'll soon realize that the world doesn't stop for anyone. The more you talk about your problems, the more you push people away, because negativity is draining. People are drawn to strength, to those who carry themselves with resilience despite what they are going through. There's a harsh but valuable lesson in this. If you want to be respected, don't seek sympathy, seek solutions. The most powerful people in history, the ones who have shaped the world, never wasted time telling others about their problems. They didn't sit around waiting for someone to care. They channeled their struggles into action. They knew that the world only remembers victories, not the difficulties along the way. Instead of telling people about your problems, show them what overcoming them looks like. Move forward with silent determination, with the kind of strength that doesn't beg for attention but earns admiration. The moment you stop expecting others to carry your burdens, you become unstoppable. Because in the end, success speaks louder than struggles, and the world only truly notices those who rise, not those who complain. Every time you complain about your problems, you give them more power over you. You turn them into chains that hold you back instead of challenges that push you forward. Complaining does nothing but keep you stuck in the same place, waiting for someone to save you, waiting for the world to change in your favor. But the truth is, no one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to fight your battles for you. The only person who can truly change your situation is the one staring back at you in the mirror. Seeking sympathy might feel comforting for a moment, but it does not solve anything. It weakens your mindset, makes you dependent on the reactions of others, and tricks you into believing that talking about a problem is the same as fixing it. But talking alone doesn't change reality. Action does. Strength does. And strength is never built by complaining. It is built by standing up, facing the problem head on, and doing something about it. Look at the people who are admired, the ones who inspire others, the ones who leave a mark on this world. Do you ever see them dwelling on their struggles? Do you ever hear them constantly talking about how hard their lives were? No, they turned their pain into power. They understood that the world respects those who rise above their struggles, not those who seek validation for them. The moment you stop complaining and start acting, you reclaim control over your life. You shift from being a victim of circumstances to the master of your fate. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of success is born from the decision to stop talking and start doing. Because in the end, the world doesn't care how many problems you had, it only remembers how you overcame them. The world doesn't stop for anyone. It doesn't slow down to console those who struggle or reward those who seek pity. It moves forward, recognizing only those who rise despite their hardships. The reality is simple people admire strength, not suffering. They respect those who overcome challenges, not those who dwell on them. You can either be seen as someone who is weighed down by problems or as someone who turns obstacles into stepping stones. The choice is always yours. No one wants to follow a leader who constantly complains. No one is inspired by a person who spends their energy talking about how unfair life is. What captures attention, what earns respect, is the ability to endure silently and emerge stronger. The greatest figures in history, the ones whose names are remembered, did not waste time seeking sympathy. They carried their burdens without asking the world to feel sorry for them. They turned adversity into greatness, and in doing so, they commanded respect without ever having to ask for it. If you want to be taken seriously, if you want people to see you as someone worthy of admiration, then stop telling them about your problems. Show them your strength instead. Show them what persistence looks like. Show them that no matter how hard life gets, you will not break, you will not bow, and you will not be defined by your struggles. When you carry yourself with confidence, when you refuse to be seen as a victim, the world has no choice but to respect you. In the end, no one remembers those who gave up because of their problems. They remember those who conquered them. They remember those who stood tall when life tried to bring them down. And when you become that person, you won't need to seek respect. It will be given to you without question. Words are cheap. Talking about your struggles doesn't solve them. Complaining about problems doesn't make them disappear. The world doesn't measure you by how much you've suffered. It measures you by what you've done. If you want people to notice you, if you want them to respect you, then stop explaining your problems and start proving your strength. Let your actions speak so loudly that you don't need to say a word. There is a reason why the most successful people don't waste time discussing their difficulties. They know that energy spent complaining is energy wasted. Instead of seeking sympathy, they seek solutions. Instead of dwelling on their struggles, they focus on their goals. They understand that life isn't about waiting for someone to acknowledge their pain. It's about moving forward regardless of it. Imagine two individuals facing the same hardship. One constantly talks about how unfair life is, how difficult the road ahead seems. The other stays silent, puts in the work, and keeps pushing forward. Who do you think will succeed? Who will gain respect? The answer is obvious. The one who acts will always be ahead of the one who complains. Strength isn't shown in words, it's shown in perseverance, in the ability to stand tall when everything is trying to pull you down.
Real power doesn't come from words, it comes from silence. It comes from the quiet battles fought when no one is watching, from the struggles endured without seeking applause, from the resilience that needs no validation. The strongest people are not the ones who announce their hardships to the world. They are the ones who face them head on, alone, and emerge victorious. When you keep your struggles to yourself, you take control. You don't give anyone the power to define you by your problems. You become a mystery, a force that moves forward without explaining, without complaining, without seeking permission. Think about the people you admire. Are they the ones who constantly talk about how hard life is? Or are they the ones who push through in silence, letting their actions do the talking? Strength isn't built by telling the world about your pain. It's built by carrying that pain with dignity and transforming it into something greater. The moment you stop broadcasting your struggles, you become untouchable. No one can use your weaknesses against you. No one can pity you because they don't even know you need it. And the best part, when you finally succeed, no one will see the suffering behind it, only the triumph. Silence is a weapon. It confuses those who expect you to break. It intimidates those who want to see you fail. It gives you the time and space to grow without interference. The world respects those who move in silence, who don't waste time proving themselves to others, who let their success be the only explanation they ever need. So stop talking. Stop complaining. Stop expecting the world to care. Use that energy to build, to grow, to succeed. Because in the end, those who are silent in their struggles make the loudest impact with their victories. Depending on others for emotional support might feel comforting in the moment, but it is a dangerous habit. Every time you rely on someone to validate your pain, you give away a piece of your strength. You make yourself vulnerable to their opinions, their judgments, and their temporary attention. The truth is, no one can truly solve your problems but you. No amount of sympathy or encouragement from others will change your reality unless you take action. Real strength comes from within. It comes from the ability to stand tall when no one is there to catch you. It comes from understanding that you are your own savior. There's nothing wrong with seeking advice or support, but when you constantly depend on others to feel better, you weaken your resilience. You become a prisoner of their responses, waiting for someone to tell you it's going to be okay, instead of making it okay yourself. The strongest people in the world are not those who always have someone to lean on. They are the ones who can stand alone. They have trained themselves to be their own source of motivation, their own guide, their own hero. Life will test you. It will push you to your limits, and in moments you will realize that no one else can truly feel what you feel. No one else can fight your battles for you. That's when you must decide, will you be the person who crumbles under pressure, looking for a shoulder to cry on? Or will you be the person who rises, knowing that every difficulty is a chance to grow stronger? When you stop relying on others and start believing in your own ability to overcome, you unlock a power that no one can take away from you. You become unshakable, unstoppable. And the world doesn't ignore people like that. It respects them, admires them, follows them. Because in the end, those who stand on their own feet are the ones who lead. Life is not meant to be easy. Every challenge, every setback, every difficulty you face is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. But only if you allow it to. The problem is that most people see obstacles as a reason to stop, as an excuse to complain, as something unfair. They waste time telling the world about their struggles instead of using those struggles to fuel their growth. What they don't realize is that obstacles are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. They are the test that determines who rises and who stays stuck. The world does not reward those who complain. It rewards those who push through. It does not admire those who seek pity. It admires those who use their struggles as a foundation for success. So stop telling people your problems and start using them as fuel. Because one day, when you have conquered every challenge and reached the top, you will look back and realize that the very things you once saw as obstacles were actually the reason for your success. The world admires those who refuse to give up, those who keep moving forward even when everything seems to be against them. No one is inspired by a person who sits around complaining, waiting for someone to feel sorry for them. People admire warriors, those who fight their battles in silence and emerge victorious. The more you talk about your problems, the more powerless you seem. But when you endure without seeking attention, you become someone people respect. Think about the people who have achieved greatness. Did they spend their time telling others how difficult their journey was? No. They focused on overcoming every obstacle, knowing that in the end, their success would be the only proof they needed. The world does not remember those who gave up. It remembers those who kept going despite the pain, despite the failures, despite the odds. Those are the people who inspire generations. If you want to be respected, you must stop expecting the world to understand your struggles. It won't. Everyone has their own battles to fight, their own problems to deal with. People respect those who stand strong, who find solutions instead of excuses. When you develop this mindset, you become different. You become the person others look up to, the one they see as unbreakable. Every moment you spend complaining is a moment you could be using to grow, to improve, to move forward. Respect is not given to those who ask for it. It is earned by those who show resilience. Stop telling people your problems. Show them your strength. Show them that no matter what happens, you will not break. Because in the end, the world only admires those who refuse to be defeated. In the end, people won't remember the struggles you faced. They will remember how you overcame them. Life is not about the obstacles you encounter, but how you rise above them. Every challenge is just another step on the path to something greater, and how you handle it is what defines you. When you constantly talk about your problems, you keep them alive and you allow them to take center stage in your life. But when you turn your attention to solving them, to moving forward, to growing, you become someone who is defined by their victories, not their setbacks. Think about the people whose names are etched in history. They didn't achieve greatness by sitting around discussing how hard their journey was. They didn't gain respect by asking for pity. They gained it by showing up every day, facing their problems with determination, and pushing through no matter the cost. The world doesn't remember the pain, it remembers the triumph. The battles are forgotten, but the victories, the strength, and the resilience are what people take away. You are more than the struggles you face. You are the person who rises from them. When you stop talking about your problems and start showing the world how you conquer them, you shift from being defined by your struggles to being defined by your strength. And that's how you leave a legacy, by proving that nothing can defeat you. And no matter how many times life tries to knock you down, you will always rise stronger. Your problems are temporary, but your strength is what will last. So stop telling people about your struggles and start showing them the power that lies within you. The world will remember the person who faced challenges head on and emerged victorious, not the one who spent time talking about them. The victory is yours to claim. Let your actions be the proof of it.